Alright, welcome to that Synth Show Live. This is a Mellotron Electro Harmonics Mel9 emulation pedal. It's pretty cool, but now we all get the chance to afford the micro module, 500 bucks. I mean, you can't go wrong for that. So I figure what we do today, we just check out this new module they came out and listen to a couple Mellotron sounds. And if you want to pick up a cheap version, pick one of these up. They work quite well. But if you actually want the real thing, you don't have to pay a couple $1,000 anymore for this thing now. You can pick this beauty up for a cool 500 bones. No problem. Okay? So this is what we're doing. We're going to check out some sounds. We're going to check out, what's up, Robbie? What's up, Pro Synth Net? We're going to check out some sounds. We're going to check out the Mellotron, the pedal, the module, whatever you want to call it. Like I said, this is I got a couple demos of this one. This is good enough for 100 bucks. But if you can pick up the Mellotron pedal for 500 bones, and this is apparently the exact same thing as the actual one with the keyboard, it just doesn't have the key bed. So it's got, let me jump over to the main frame here and we'll get going properly. Well, bam. Alright, so here we go. Let's have a little quick look-see. The Mellotron Micro Module is the smallest version available of the digital Mellotron, and it includes many of the features of the Micro. It includes 124-bit uncompressed sound sourced from the first generation Mellotron and Chamberlain tape libraries. Sound card number 1 is the built-in library for the Micro and the M4000D series instruments. The module includes a power supply, cables, blah blah blah, MIDI 5-pin, MIDI through, MIDI in. And then you got an octave switch on this one. Alright, which is a high-low switch now on the module instead of an octave switch. MIDI jack. So it's pretty simple. It's basically the same thing as the other one right here. So you get a look at it. It's pretty much the same thing. Just this switch is different. Now, one of the things that people were saying that isn't cool about this, that people wish they had, was it does. I'm just using this as an example. It's got the main one's got an SD card slot, which you can load way more sounds. This one's got a micro SD. To be blatantly honest with you, I don't even know what that means. Micro to me means small, so it's got a smaller SD card, and I guess you can't get the sounds on it with that. So if we look at a couple of the bigger ones, digital Mellotrons, here we go. Here's what you got to choose from. You got the Big Daddy, the M4000D. You got the M4000D Mini, which ain't that many. You got the Micro over here, and now you got the module and you got the rack. But if you want to get the Big Daddy, you're looking at 2,800 bucks right here. Right? You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. You want to get the Mini Daddy, you're looking at 2 G's. Hardcore. Alright? Very hardcore. Tell me why I should buy this over the GeForce M-Tron Pro V. Alright. You should buy this over the M-Tron GeForce Pro G. Why is the question. The question is because VSTs clog up your computer, okay? They load up your computer, they slow it down. You know, this Micro Mini you can fit in your pocket. You can take it wherever you want to go. You could throw it in your man purse with your Glock, okay? So you can take your gun and your micro module Mellotron to the county fair, okay? So if you want to break it out and you want protection, you can fit the Mellotron micro module and your gun in your man purse, all right? Now you got protection and you got style and you got exquisite first generation Mellotron sounds. That's why you should buy this thing. You don't got to be lugging around no big old ass laptop everywhere, okay? Now all you need is the Mellotron pedal, all right? And a little MIDI keyboard. And well, bam, shabam, you're in. How's that? That's why. All right? Now, if you're in the UK, like my big boy Robbie, listen, you could take, instead of buying the VSTD and having that clog up your computer and getting it full of viruses, now you get this beautiful little hardware version. Let me pull it up just so everyone can see it. You get this little beauty right here, okay? Robbie, you could be out for a curry and chips with the missus, and you could pop that Mellotron on the table, okay? And she'd be like, what is that? And you'd be like, that's first generation Mellotron library sounds right at your fingertips, baby. And she'd be like, oh my good Lord. And you'd be like, that's right. Now, if you drop a laptop in front of your missus at the curry restaurant, she's going to be like, baby, don't take your computer out while we're eating, okay? But if you drop the Mellotron micro module on the friggin' table, okay, next to your friggin' American Express Platinum Black card, and you'd be like, baby, I'm covering food tonight, and I got the music when we go home, okay? And no, I ain't going to be on my computer tonight. That's all you got to say to her. And well, bam, you're in. Easy peasy, all right? Yeah, so it's cool. Yeah, Robbie Taylor's got the antenna. Nice. All right. So let's check out some sounds. Echocraft's in the house. What's up, baby? We're going to check out some sounds of the Mellotron while we just... And you know what? I say I'm getting everything. I got this here, and it's okay. This is okay. So if you're into okay, pick up a Mel9 pedal from Electro Harmonics. If you're into okay. If you're flush with cash, go pick up a regular Mellotron. If you're a synth renegade and you're just looking for that sweet hardware Mellotron sound, you know what to do. You got to pick up this module for $500. Easy friggin' peasy. All right? $443 UK. That's nothing. I told someone the other day I was walking. I dropped $450 on the ground. I just kept walking. You know why? Because by the time I went down and picked that up, I could have been at work, clocked in, and making some overtime. All right? So $450. Everybody got $450. Like I told everybody the other day, if you don't got $450, you got to go back to trade school. You got to become a plumber, electrician, HVAC tech, get into IT, open a hot dog stand, start selling coffee at the back of your Honda Civic, grab friggin' a transit van, rent a transit van off Echo, head down to Boston on the weekend, start selling meatballs and spaghetti at the back of your transit van, homemade, okay? Just do something. Everybody can get $450. And if you can't, you can get $150 for this if you want these sounds. But we're going for this beautiful micro mini is what we're going for right here, okay? So let's check out some sounds of the Mellotron just to get us a little bit fired up here. First up, we got Gears for Music with a little demo. And then right after that, we've got Reverb.com with a little demo. Just for a taste, you know, just for a taste. All right, sold already. I want it already. I want it already just because that friggin' saxophone sound. You kidding me? How can you get anything more gorgeous than the saxophone sound? Right here. See this? This is basic. I can't believe it took them so long to come out with this. This is basically what you're getting. You're getting the I got my mouse out here now. You're getting basically this little piece here. I don't know if you can see that on the screen. I think you can. You're getting this little chunk here, that beautiful little monkey, and you get it in this perfect epic form chunky. Okay? 500 bones. You got it. I got it. We all got it. That's all we know, right? Let me get back to the show. Somebody clip out that sales pitch for Pro Synth Network. They can fire it up on their show next week. Robbie can ask the question. Fellas, let me ask you a question here, fellas. Why should I buy the Mellotron micro module over the GeForce blah 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 blah? And then he can play my clip, and that's the sales pitch to why. All right, Robbie? Load it up. Clip it. Everything I do is open source. If you want to take my stuff, clip it, make fun of it, make streams, do it. I don't care. Everything's open source. You'll never get a copyright strike from me. If you want to make a fake samurai channel and start clipping stuff and uploading tons of crap, go for it. All right. I do got to say, the alto sax flute is just gorgeous. Don't be fooled by this hardcore look, all right? And this gritty beard, all right? And this beautiful smile. Don't get it twisted. I like soft sounds. I'm a preset playboy, okay? At heart. But now I'm just venturing into the world of sound design under the apprenticeship of Hans Volt. So, buckle up, baby. Yeah, Robbie turned around, thought he was behind himself. That accent was so dead on of the English gentleman, Robbie, that he just heard that coming through his speakers, and he turned around, he thought he was behind himself. My accents are dead on. That's 50%. I mean, how do you not want this thing? I'm telling you what, like I just said, if you're out with the missus and you come home and you pop down your module, you can even lay it on your recliner. Pop the recliner back, put the module down on the chair, plug in your little Arturia mini keyboard, and just start serenading her. She'll think she's gone back to the 50s, all right? She'll think she's gone back to the 50s. She might walk upstairs and come down in one of those wallpaper flower print dresses, okay, with her hair all put up in one of those bouffants, all right? And she might roll down the stairs. She might float down the stairs while you're playing the Mellotron, okay? This is one of those things that can turn your whole marriage around. It can actually supercharge and warp speed romance in your marriage again. You go home while she's upstairs taking off her makeup, you're just out for a curry and chips, you come home, you're down on the couch, you got this all lined up incognito, she doesn't even know there's an instrument out, and you start playing this little riff, she floats down the stairs with one of those beautiful dresses, hair in a bouffant, bright red lipstick, floats across the floor, doesn't even look like she's walking, boom, right on your lap. Yeah, let me tell you something, QWL Music. Your wife wasn't born in the 50s, bro, but I'll tell you right now, if suddenly you had a Mellotron micro module in your house and you could alter time and space and your missus floated down the stairs like she was born in the 50s, no, you don't want her born in the 50s, bro, because then, you know, she wouldn't be a woman. You want her born in the 20s, so she's a 30-year-old smoke show floating down the stairs in a wallpaper flower print dress, hair in a bouffant, and you're playing the Mellotron. That's what you're looking for. That's the image you're looking for, all right? Oh, wait a minute. All right, Robbie, good point. All right, let me check this out. So the thing about this module is, this is one of the crap things about it. And don't get me wrong, I love the Mellotron. But this only comes with 100 sounds for 500 bucks. If my math is correct, that's $5 a sound. All right? That ain't cheap, but you know what? We ain't cheap either. Now, Robbie just told me to go check out the sound cards. Now, Mellotron has been, you know, let's check it out. What are they selling sound cards for? Let's check out a 7 sound card bundle. What's that going for? Oh my God. All right. Wow. Holy friggin' guacamole. You gotta be kidding me. Wow. 7 sound cards for 2,100. Man, they're running a game here. Okay, so they're going to give you that Mellotron Micro for 500 bones. And the English gentleman, Robbie, from Pro Synth Network, just told me to check out how much the sound cards are here on the website. And they are out of control. How much is one sound card? 3, 2. All right, let's check out sound card 6. How much? 500 bucks. All right. Okay, my excitement for this product is now going down. I need to listen to some more music to cool my anger. That's mental. That is a freaking... Okay, stop. This is a joke. This is a joke that I'm finding not exactly funny at the moment. This is crazy, actually. I need to stop the music. Stop the music. You're telling me that if I go spend my hard-earned cash and buy this beautiful... I was out here to glaze this thing, and I'm still glazing it because I still think 500 bucks for a actual Mellotron is a deal. And don't get me wrong, this only comes with 100 sounds. So what you're saying is I get 100 sounds for 500 bucks, $5 a sound. All right, fine. But then you're telling me if in the future you guys decide to open up that micro SD card slot on the back, I think there is one. Is there? There's not even a friggin' micro SD card slot on this thing. Is there? Am I blind? I don't even see it. So, maybe they'll pop that thing off, whatever that is there, and pop. All right, so you can't even get more than 100 sounds on this thing. Fine. Robbie might be pushing me to go to G-Force here now if I think about it. But I don't know. 100 sounds on the Mellotron. This has got 9. This is interesting. But he's telling me if I did. So what are you telling me? 7 sound card bundle in the friggin' expansion card ports, 2100 bones. Oh my frig. That is absolutely brutal. Where's the card slot? There's no friggin' card slot on the little one, according to what I'm seeing. Let me see here. Let me have a quick look. Digital Mellotron. Let's go to the micro module. Sounds created, mains cable, blah, blah, blah. MIDI jacks, blah, blah, blah. It can handle polyphonic aftertouch. We all love that. It cannot be expanded with the CF expansion card. So you know what? You never have to, expansion cards are not compatible. It's time for Mellotron. Okay, listen, you know what? It's time for Mellotron to knock off this nonsense, all right? It's time to knock off the nonsense of selling sound card packs for $500. That's out of control. That's out of control. Wave 2 Mellotron samples are dope. I could re-synthesize them in Serum. Yeah, so yeah, exactly, Robbie. So the expansion cards you can't use them in this, so you basically get 100 sounds. And you know what? Maybe 100 sounds is enough for $500. You know what I mean? Do I really need to be trolling through a million sounds from the Mellotron? But I might not get that beautiful one that I just heard. Damn, my glaze has turned into haze. Reverbcom got going on. Classic Strawberry Fields. I smell Lisa. I know those hands anywhere. I know those hands anywhere. That's Lisa Belladonna's hands. Am I right? I can spot those hands anywhere. Yeah, it's basically a rompler, but it's the classic library sound, so. But it's pretty much a rompler. I love romplers, but see, the thing is, listen, everybody calls me the preset playboy, all right? It's been coined. It's all across the forums everywhere. I am the original preset playboy, okay? That's fine and dandy. I don't mind that because I actually love presets. I think presets are amazing. But, you know, sometimes you got to design your own sounds. You want to know the reasons why I don't like romplers? Because they're ugly. Pretty much every rompler I've ever seen is ugly. I wish someone would make a really beautiful rompler. It seems like standard issue is like this. You get a rompler, it's got to be ugly. I've never seen a beautiful rompler. You know, I don't know. They're always just like black hard plastic things with a crap screen and a bunch of friggin' screen printed writing on the side of it. It's ugly. And I can't use ugly synthesizers. What's up, Colt baby? What's happening? So it's just the way it is. I can't use ugly synthesizers. I can only use beautiful ones. It's just how I was brought up. It's how my daddy raised me. Knew it! I knew it. I told you. I could spot those hands anywhere, dude. I knew it was LBD. She got the big friggin' owl, too. Look. She got the friggin' Bohemian Grove owl. Okay. I get it now. Cool. Do you know what would be really cool? I wonder, this is kind of why if Arturia came out with an Astrolab and they called it the Astro Pig, and you could even make it pink, you know, like that nice strawberry shortcake pink. Call it the Astro Pig. And instead of the Astrolab with the 6 buttons or whatever, it's got that whole panel on the side filled with knobs. More knobs than you know what to do with. More knobs than Echo got in his closet, all right? Filled with knobs. And then if it gave you the ability to take the Mellotron and then use all of the functions of pigments, and now you can really get wild, now that's something I'd be interested in. This huge table right here on top of this Mellotron, that's cool. But, you know, what are you going to lay up there? Are you going to lay some chicken tenders? Just something about the sound I like. I can't put my finger on it. No, why I like the Astrolab is because it's standalone. So that's one of the reasons why I like the Astrolab. Just I don't want to have to always carry around a laptop, man. You know? I'm trying to transcend the laptop, you know? I'm trying to go back in time and in the future at the same time. Time squared. I gotta get some rings, man. I need to get a bunch of rings, I think. Mark Doty and Lisa Belladonna always repping the big ass rings. You know what I mean? Picking them up at your local craft fair. I'm getting some rings. Yeah, to all the knob goblins out there, we need an Astrolab full of knobs, all right? We need Arturia to go to Alibaba and buy as many knobs as they can and have one of their engineers see how many knobs they can fit on it. I want to see a synth that has more knobs than any synth in the world, and it'll just blow your mind. There's barely no space for anything but knobs. The knobs are so close together that when you turn them, the sides heat up from like the residual potential friction that may be caused if they were touching. QWL Music's been trying to make me get VSTs since day one, baby. It ain't happening. I'm not getting into the VST world. I just can't connect with them. I just can't get into it. I don't know what it is. VSTs and me, we don't click. You know, it's just the way it is. You know, it's the same reason why, you know, obviously, it's the same reason why I got a wife instead of a blow-up doll, all right? That's the reason. That's why I got hardware synthesizers instead of VSTs. Same reason I got a wife instead of a blow-up doll, baby, because I want the real thing. No offense to the VST virgins out there, all right? Man, I could listen to Lisa Belladonna all day. All day. The playing, I mean. QWL music, don't get mad, I'm only joking around. Hold on, screen's popping out everywhere. Yeah, I'm only joking, man. I know that, listen, I know that people who have VSTs have wives too, okay? I understand. No, I do, I get it. Yeah. So, yeah. Getting a better controller, what are you doing now? You're going from a blow-up doll to a real doll, all right? That's what you're doing. You know, let's be honest with each other here. Can we just be honest for a minute? We all know it. Listen, you know it and I know it. When you sit down with your computer and you open a VST and then you make a song, when you leave, you feel like you feel like you've done something a little what's the word? You feel like you've done something a little naughty, haven't you? You know, when you went down your basement and you got all the lights off and you open your laptop and that bright blue light starts troning your mind out, and then you're sitting in front of a VST for hours and hours, and then you made a song. When you walk away, you feel like you were a little naughty, don't you? Because you know you probably should have turned on the lights and went over and sat down with your hardware and connected with the instrument. You felt a little naughty, didn't you? VSTs are basically the I'll use a code here. VSTs are the cornography of the music world, okay? Hardware is real life. VSTs is cornography, okay? That's how I look at it. It always feels a little naughty when you've made a song with a VST. You kind of should have went and turned on the lights and played your synth. That's my opinion. That's just my opinion. Nothing wrong with being naughty every once in a while, but being naughty all the time, that leads you down a dark, dark road. You all know what I'm talking about. Stay off the cornography. This is coming from Echocraft here. Yeah, well, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, Echocraft saying I don't know what I talk about? This is the deal with Echocraft, okay? This is the deal with Echocraft. Echocraft has, I think, last count yesterday, and I think he's even went and bought a bunch more last night. He's addicted. He's addicted to VSTDs, right? It's one of those little naughty pleasures that people get into, is that they don't have space, so they fill up their hard drives and computers with VSTDs, right? It's quite synth promiscuous, to be honest, and it leads you down a dark road. And what happens is you end up getting VSTs all over your computer. Your stuff stops working. You're trying to go for a stream. Your computer blocks up. I'm telling you, I call this cat probably 3-4 days a week, and the dude is under his desk on the floor trying to figure out what's wrong with his computer. Why his OBS ain't streaming. He's trying to figure out how come he can't jam on his beautiful Moog Muse that Moog gave him. He's trying to figure out, you know, what's going on here. How come I came in here last night and now I'm back in the morning, everything worked fine tonight, everything doesn't work right in the morning. It's the same thing that happens when you go, you know, you get into the naughty land, you know. Last night you felt good, you woke up this morning, you go to the bathroom, it burns a little bit, you know. You did a little too much, you know. You flew a little too close to the sun. So Echocraft gets home last night. What does he do? He sits down, pulls out his friggin' Visa, and he buys another 300 VSTs. Okay? Or whatever they're called. VSTs, is that what they're called? Yeah. He buys 300 VSTs. So from yesterday's stream to today, Echocraft increased his 125,000 VSTs. He's got 18 hard drives. He showed me one day. He took his camera, pointed at the floor. He's like, you know what's in that gigantic friggin' Timberland shoebox? I was like, what? I was like, open it up. I thought he was going to show me something cool. And what did he show me? He showed me 18 1 terabyte hard drives full of VSTs. And that's not what's on his computer. He's got the most stacked up Mac you ever seen. His Mac is so stacked, I think he's got more memory on it than friggin' what's his name? Who owns Apple? Tim Jobs or whatever his name is? He's got more memory on his computer than Tim Jobs. All right? Tim Jobs doesn't even have a Mac that's got as much memory as Echo. And Echo's got that full of VSTs. That's the problem. The thing about VSTs is suddenly you look around your house and now you're living beyond your means because you couldn't put 125,000 synthesizers in your house. So what do? You go buy VSTs nonstop. And before you know it, you got about $13,000 worth of VSTs spent in the last 3 weekends. And now you got 18 1 terabyte hard drives in a shoebox on the floor, taped up, because you're guilty. You don't even want anybody to see what you've got. That's how crazy it gets. All right, man, that's the preset Playboy, no regrets. That's right. So that's the wonderful Lisa Belladonna. So this is it, man. This is what we're looking at. Mellotron, $500, 500 sounds. I kind of feel like that's a pretty good deal. You don't have to worry about paying $500 for a new SD card or whatever. All right. So that's up to you, what you want to do. But I think if you're looking for that sweet Mellotron sound, you go and get it. What's Echo saying? I ain't spending any more money to rebuttal you, so I don't have that many VSTs. Yeah, you do, bro. You got more VSTs than anybody I know on Earth. That's what's crazy. You got the record. I think you should submit that shoebox to Guinness Book of World Records so at least you can get your name etched in history as the largest VST purchaser and holder on planet Earth. Yeah, exactly. They need to go to a synth doctor. Symptoms of reality. You got to go get that checked out. Get you some doxycycline. All right. Happy Sunday. What's up, Banana Rodder? Just see what everyone's up to. I don't have room on the shelves. Vertically 2 racks. That's right. No room. That's when you hit the purchase VST. Yeah, he's got VSTs that haven't even been created yet. You're right. This cat. I think Echo's even working on making VSTs because he can't even find any more VSTs out there that he hasn't bought. So now he's working on making his own because it's an addiction. It's an addiction. It's dark. No blockages, but shout out to Cherry Audio and G-Force, 2 great companies. Like I said, if you don't have room in your house, you know what VSTDs do? They give you analysis paralysis too, because you walk in and you know what VSTDs are? They're like the cable TV of synthesizer world. You sit down to watch something, and before you know it, you spent an hour and a half going through the guide. You ever notice people who got cable TV do that? They'll sit down on the couch And then an hour and a half goes by, and all they've been doing is flicking through the guide, watching commercials. It's genius what cable TV did. They stagger their commercials. So then as you're trying to change a channel, next channel's got a commercial. Next channel's got an hour and a half later, you've just watched a load of commercials. Same with VSTDs. Hour and a half, you go in to make some music. Hour and a half later, all you've done is scroll through VST text. Bell patch. Great. Yeah. Tim Jobs. Whatever.